Wow. Another win. Another win. I had a very bad feeling about this game since we came into it. For some reason, it just felt off. The hostile environment. I don't know. I just was a little bit skeptical about this game, but the Saints shut me up, and now I know to never feel doubt with this team. They fight to the end. They are strong. They are the deepest team, most complete team in the National Football League. I don't know what else to say. They are so good. There are so many things that we have to talk about this episode. It's insane. The New Orleans Saints are complete. They are dangerous. They are my favorites to win the NFC and go to the Super Bowl. I don't know who's better. As unbiased as physically possible, when looking at it from a football standpoint, nobody is better. The team in the NFC South is also making a strong case for themselves. The Carolina Panthers, along with us, we combined for an 8-0 record without Cam Newton and Drew Brees. So I definitely will be talking about them in the State of the Saints episode this week. But the New Orleans Saints are too complete. They're too good. Everybody on defense is coming together. This team can win in any way. They can win with the special teams, with the defense, with the offense, anything. The stadium crowd can win us games. There is so many ways this team can win a football game, and they showcase it every single week. Don't pick against the Saints. They will prove you wrong almost every single time. So the New Orleans Saints advance to 5-1. Now 4-0 with Teddy as a starting quarterback, like we all seen coming, even though nobody's seen it coming. Teddy Bridgewater has led this team to a 4-0 record. Sean Payton, again, making a strong case for Coach of the Year, even though the beginning of the game was a bit rocky and a bit questionable. The offensive line issues were a big problem in this game. Teddy Bridgewater, while only getting sacked 2 times, which were back-to-back incidents, or did he get sacked more than that? He got sacked a few times, and it just the offensive line's run blocking wasn't the best. Of course, it was banged up. Teron Armstead and Ryan Ramczyk both got on one knee in pain at certain points in this game. Whether they came back or not, they were both banged up. Alvin Kamara was banged up. This team was so hurt, went out there and still got the victory against the Minshew Mania Jacksonville Jaguars. Very good job, Gardner Minshew. You just proved how overrated you are. I wasn't buying into the hype. I knew he wasn't as good as everyone was saying he was, and he just got exposed by one of the better defenses in the league, but we're going to talk about that in a little bit. The defensive slugfest. The New Orleans Saints win the game 13-6, where there was only one single touchdown scored, and that was by us, and that was the determining factor of who would win this game. Teddy Bridgewater, while a lot of people may have complained about the way he played, and there are some things that need to be looked at, especially the overthrowing of the football that was happening quite consistently at the beginning of the game. He was overthrowing wide receivers. I know we all saw that play where he had Austin Carr and Michael Thomas both wide open for a touchdown. He threw it to Mike, and it was like 5 yards to the left. Mike couldn't catch it, and we ended up having to take a field goal there. That was a big mistake. Teddy Bridgewater just needs to work on I don't know if it's his confidence that's the issue or just pressure from the crowd. I don't know what it is. But this week was the worst he's had with accuracy. Every other week he was dead-eye accurate, but this one, he was overthrowing the ball a bit more. The defense definitely won us the game 13-6, but Teddy Bridgewater did throw 24 for 36, so he did have 24 completions on the game, 240 yards, which makes a perfect 10-yard per reception average. 1 touchdown, and I already covered the overthrow situation, which if we want to win more games down the road, especially against a team like Chicago next week, that definitely needs to be fixed. Latavius Murray, I said it in my preview video, expect Latavius Murray to get more snaps. We only ran the ball a total of 19 times, but Latavius Murray got 8 attempts, 19 times with our running backs. Taysom Hill and a few others had a couple of carries, but Latavius Murray had 8 attempts for 44 yards. He did have a really long, a 40-yard receiving touchdown that got negated from a Michael Thomas holding penalty. That needs to be cleaned up as well. But in Michael Thomas's defense, if he didn't hold right there, Latavius Murray would have gotten tackled 100%. He wasn't breaking that tackle right at the shins. He would have went down. So you might as well just take the chance and just try as hard as you can to get them from breaking that release and tackling Latavius Murray, and he did just that. and the refs decided to call it. It was a good call, but that Latavius Murray would have had a way bigger impact if that wasn't negated. Alvin Kamara had 11 attempts for 31 yards, but he also had 35 receiving yards. You could tell, even starting at the beginning of the game when Alvin Kamara carried the ball the second time of the game, he was slow to get back up. He was struggling to stand back up. His ankle was definitely bothering him. He took a trip to the medical tent and got sent back out eventually. But it was clear that Alvin Kamara was not playing this game 100%. It was dead obvious. We could all see it. He wasn't breaking any tackles, wasn't slipping by anybody. He was not 100% this game, and it was obvious. Thank God we have a week to rest until we play the Chicago Bears in Chicago, because that defense will not take it easy on Alvin Kamara, especially because of his status as questionable currently for next week's game. Michael Thomas, while having a slow game, even his slow games are fantastic. He had 8 receptions for 89 yards. He did not have a touchdown. He should have, but he did not have a touchdown. 89 yards on the day. Fantastic. He had a great game. Jared Cook improved yet again, extending from his great play last week. He had 3 targets, 3 receptions, 37 yards, and a touchdown. One of his completions was a game nailer, and the other one was the nail in the coffin, a touchdown. So Teddy's best throw of the day was a touchdown pass to Jared Cook that was put in a place where only he could catch it. Great ball skills by Jared Cook displayed today. Exactly what we've been needing from him to win us games. As long as this continues and it's a trending upward situation, Jared Cook can get very involved in this offense and become that number 2 dominant receiver we need, even at the tight end position. He can be that number 2 option. Ted Ginn Jr. got a little bit more involved today. He got targeted 6 times, but Teddy Bridgewater was a little off on every single one of the throws except for 2 of them, which Ted Ginn Jr. caught for 36 yards. One of them was a very, very, very questionable call. It was called down. Initially. If it was called a completion, it wouldn't have been able to be overturned because there wasn't enough defining evidence to overturn it into a completion. So it's just a ruling on the field type thing. It was ruled as a drop. There wasn't conclusive evidence to tell us that it wasn't a drop. So Ted Ginn Jr. got that one taken away. He would have had closer to 50 to 60 yards with that, but the offense played just good enough. They didn't play great. There are a lot of things Sean Payton's going to want to fix. He's going to have a long talk with them. The overthrows, the clunky play regardless. It was against a stern Jacksonville Jaguars defense. Their defensive line had a field day on our offensive line. So it was against a stout defense, but we play Chicago next week. They're miles better defensively than Jacksonville. So we're definitely going to have to fix some of those problems that we faced this week because they were very apparent. The defensive side of the ball, a.k.a. the reason we won, played fantastic. And a very sad moment occurred during this game when Demario Davis accidentally, this man's wearing a Man of God headband. You will never see him headhunting. He is the most honest football player you will ever see. Very, very, very bad helmet to helmet. He was trying to pull away off of Jacksonville's tight end, and he got laid out, dude. Like every piece of life in his body just left. It looked like if someone were to dump out a can of grape jelly onto a piece of bread for a peanut butter and jelly sandwich like that. His body was just limp. It just flew backwards. So that was sad. Demario Davis went and prayed by him. Very classy move by Demario. Everybody knows, which is why he wasn't ejected like Vontaze Burfict was. He did not mean to do that. He's too classy of a person, too good of a person. It was an accident. Besides that, he played amazing. Had a near pick, a couple of passes defended, amazing tackling. Demario Davis is the best linebacker the Saints have had in a very long time. The most underrated linebacker in this league. One of the best. Top 10, no doubt. Cameron Jordan had 2 sacks, one of which was in the red zone, and a big reason we won this game. Cameron Jordan proved once again, and that sack that he got in the red zone, he just pushed the lineman out of the way and ran free at Gardner Minshew. Cameron Jordan he's breathtaking. That dude can play some football. Cameron Jordan is amazing. Marcus Williams continued his beautiful play today. He was everywhere on the field. Whether it was cleaning up somebody else's mistake and tackling a wide receiver, defending passes, he had 2 passes defended. The dude played insane and continued to hold up his 89.4 highest rated safety in the league, Pro Football Focus grade. Marcus Williams is amazing. Marshawn Lattimore had a couple passes defended. He played lights out this week and secured an interception as well. Lockdown Marshawn Lattimore is back. This defense is insane. The New Orleans Saints have one of the best defenses in the NFL. Don't tell me otherwise. I know what the stats say. 19th in pass and 22nd in pass and 19th against the rush. That's bull. Leonard Fournette had 20 attempts for 72 yards this week after having 108 yards against Carolina and 225 against Denver. We held him to 72 yards on 20 attempts. This defense is insane. Gardner Minshew also played a very lackluster game, 14 of 29 with 163 yards and an interception caught by Marshawn Lattimore. Way to shut up the Jacksonville Jaguars. Respect to y'all's fans. Your guys' fans are amazing. I didn't have any run-ins or any problems with the Jacksonville Jaguar fan base this week, which is rare because it happens with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, with the Cowboys, of course, everybody else. People coming in my comments telling me we're going to get blown out. The Jacksonville Jaguars fans kept it classy. I'll keep it classy with y'all. All I have to say is Minshew Mania has been closed. Beautiful play by the defense. 13-6, Saints advance to 5-1 on the season. 4-0 with Teddy Bridgewater. Dear Jesus League, just wait until we get Drew Brees back, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Adios.